So, Carrie, don't forget to put yourself in focus mode.
I just did.
Well, good for you. Well, welcome to our new and improved Workshop Wednesday. Um, we are supposed to have, our normal, normally
Payroll.
scheduled payroll fundamentals and QuickBooks workflows um, topic today, but in the dead of
Shazam.
night,
What?
in the dead of night, like in true Intuit fashion, an email emerged to the accounting community. So we decided to pivot and adjust and do our kind of unpack the email that was sent. So what we're referring to is I'm going to put it in the chat here if I can find it. It should go out to Facebook and YouTube, and also on our website. So if you're watching from one of those places, please let us know where you're tuning in from, because we would love to know. Just enter it in the chat, and it should be able to bring that information in the chat here, so we can have a conversation here. But we wanted to just kind of unpack this email that came out. There was a lot of information in there, and it
Oh,
was
hey,
and it
Susan.
was. Yes, Susan is joining us from Facebook. Thank you. Um, so let's go ahead and begin, right?
It's
So
my phone. So I have to say what was going on last night. So long day. I decided it's so hot here. I decided to go float in the pool, and when I put my phone down, which I usually don't, my my phone. I was probably in the pool floating for an hour or two, and I got back up on my phone.
you you were floating with Joe, huh?
In my Big Joe. If you don't have one, get one. They're great. And and I was so relaxed, I almost fell asleep. And I got up and I pick up my phone that had been sitting in the chair for an hour or two. And lo and behold, there were 100 missed texts all around the email. And one of them said from you, I think we're going to change our topic tomorrow. I'm like, what did I miss? And so it was two words, or well, the announcement of the desktop pricing changes, which both Dan and I knew was coming, but it was under NDA. There's things we can't tell you. So let's unpack
Now, now
the
now that
email.
it's out of the bag, we can talk
A
all we
cat
want
is
about
out of the bag. So we knew it was coming, but we weren't, mum's the word. We weren't to say anything.
So let me quickly share my screen here. So we decided to put kind of unpack this all in a blog article on schoolofbookkeeping.com. And if you go all the way down to the bottom, you can add comments as well, to your thoughts as well, or just put them in the workshop here. It's totally fine. But we want to be able to create and cultivate a conversation about this as well. So, as you can see from my scrolling, there
It's a
is a lot.
big
It's
email.
a big old email. So what I did is I just kind of took snippets of it, and then just kind of at the bottom of each, we kind of put our take on what that actually means. So it came out from Ted Callahan, who is
Leader.
the accountant leader at Intuit. And we had this conversation in May where he was letting the accounting community know that these changes were going to take place.
We're common.
That they were a coming. Um, and Robin asked, "How do we get that email?" um, I don't know. I don't know who's on the distro list of that, but it's all right here, right? So I mean, you can go to the School of Bookkeeping blog. You can share that with your clients.
Is that,
Uh,
and then this is the entire letter, Robin,
yeah,
broken down with explanations. So
exactly. So if you didn't get it, sorry, Susan. If you didn't get it, then we wanted to make sure that you have access to it. So it's available on the blog. they have already created, Intuit has already created a firm of the future uh, with frequently asked questions as well. So you can, we've linked to that as well. But the first section, was kind of backhanded. I don't know. What would you, where they lead off with thank
Valued
you for being a
partner.
valued partner, but then immediately turn into, this is going to be, um, uh, they're committed to telling you these business decisions, but it's
But
not
they
anything,
really don't. They just,
not
yeah.
telling any product changes about QuickBooks Desktop. It's just talking about the pricing changes, um, and and the fact that this is so long tells you there's a lot. There's a
Yeah,
lot
they
to
spent a lot of time creating it.
yeah. So as far as the dates are concerned, September 6th and 20th is the launch, the anticipated launch dates of QuickBooks 2023. So that's kind of when
We
these changes are kind of,
Yeah, September
we
6th is when
anticipate
the
these.
ProAdvisors get a copy in their ProAdvisor subscription of desktop, and then the vast community on the 20th get the price increase in 2023.
Right. And I think this is actually just one of the things here. Jeff Weathers is a School of Bookkeeping member. Actually, he's watching on YouTube. And Robin said something in Facebook, and through our little workshop here, he was able to email Robin through Facebook. I just think that was cool.
Yeah, that is
So
technology.
it's lovely the way that we're collaborating here together. So this is pretty cool. Um, so those are the dates. As we say here, and as we continue to hear that desktop is not going away. As we kind of summarize all of the changes that we're illustrating here, it just kind of, it's kind of driving the conversation towards, and as you put in there, pretty eloquently, if people are shopping out of their pocketbook or their wallet, they're just based on price, not necessarily what's the best fit for
Right.
their business. They're now considering QuickBooks Online, maybe when it's maybe not the best fit or the best option for them. What would you say, Carrie?
Yeah, so and it's funny because historically, Pro and Premier have been almost forgotten. Like when QuickBooks Online went out, I mean, Pro and Premier was like $200, $300 for years and years and years and years and years. And it was like, I was thinking, isn't this ever going to catch up? Meanwhile, Enterprise's prices were going up, and so were QuickBooks Online. It's almost like those two departments were forgotten. But they were still getting features, and so customers were used to being able to buy it, sit in it without a subscription. And I think finally they realized, well, we're not going to get anybody over to online if we continue to offer this inexpensive product, will we? And they tried with features and stuff, so now they're trying the pocketbook trick. So I didn't exactly go in and see what's the price of this and this, because feature wise, Pro is still has some features that are missing from QuickBooks Online Plus. So,
Yeah.
if you have to have inventory and job costing and you love the way it's done in desktop, you won't be happy if you switch to QuickBooks Online natively.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk about a little bit about. So the first part is the QuickBooks Desktop pricing changes in general, right? So
Right.
so Pro Plus. So the big thing is that the Plus subscriptions, which were announced in 2021, mandatory in 2022.
Very quick pivot.
Yeah. So the Plus subscriptions, not to be confused with QuickBooks Online Plus
No,
subscriptions.
no, no. This is the old desktop that could be hosted or in your little local Windows
Right.
computer or Mac.
But the subscriptions are increasing in price, and they are no longer allowed to be discounted at all. So they're not
So
even discounting themselves. So so a Pro Plus or Mac Plus subscription, one user is now going to be $549
And
per year.
yeah, not 250, not 300, 549 for just one user.
So
So
just from the MSRP or the base price, not being any discounts, that's a $200 increase for those of you keeping score at home. The Premier, right, went from I don't even remember what it was, but
Jeff's telling us, thank you, Jeff, $4.99 to $7.99.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'm getting to that.
Wow. Well,
Yeah, because it's down here. Yeah, so we're just working down the list here. So Premier Plus was, I think this is a $200 increase, which it was $599. It's hard to say because it was discounted that first year. So Premier single user was $599, increased $200 to $799. Now the additional users for Pro is $200. So Pro, you can have a maximum of 3 users. So for each additional user in Pro, it's an additional $200. So if you have a 3-user license for Pro, you're looking at an additional $400 from $599. So it's now $949 for Pro for a 3-user license. Premier Plus is now $300 for each individual, adding a seat. So that's $300 five.
oh, the internet.
Was I frozen?
Yeah, did you pay your bill, Dan? Did you pay your bill? Did it take you off the good channel? Or is it me?
I am on the no,
good channel? It's you or me?
It's me.
All right, so the MSRP for QuickBooks Premier 1 user
I'm back.
was $549.99. I was pulling up our price sheet. And
Yeah.
we could sell it for $350, basically $349. So now look at it, basically $350, and now you have to get it for $800. It's more than double. Ah, well, hello, folks. It's just me. Come on, Dan. Where did he go? So
Here.
You're here. I don't see you. There you are. So MSRP, Dan, basically $550 currently today, and it's now $800. But we could sell it for $350. You know, that discount is
that first year.
Gone. Yeah. Gone.
So and now moving to the ProAdvisor bundle, right? So I believe that was last year it went up $50. So it was $549. So
yeah.
And so now it's the Premier bundle, which is just the Accountant Edition desktop version, is now $799 per year, and then the Enterprise bundle, which included Point of Sale, Mac, and Enterprise, is now $12.99. So quite a jump, quite a jump for ProAdvisors.
Yeah, Enterprise ProAdvisor $849 is now $1249. And the sad thing is that there is so much good education and certifications and stuff underneath that. I'm sort of salty about this one because I feel like the tools for ProAdvisors are important. So that's sort of yeah.
Now, some of the things that they mention in here is kind of interesting. So the for those that do migrate from desktop to online, they are talking about a read-only access to desktop software. So that will at least allow you to open up a backup, like you can take a backup or export to QuickBooks Desktop from online and have a saved hard copy. So I'm interested in see how that plays out, and some kind of new migration tool that will help with converting clients that have over 10 plus years in QuickBooks Desktop to online. So we're interested to see how that flushes out as well. Another big change is payroll pricing. So we've already had that. Go ahead.
It's actually, I think, a good thing.
Yeah.
Because what I see this as is that there's, at this point, when you add Pro Premier plus this, there's no reason to do this. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just
Yeah.
go ahead and get gold, and you're
Yeah.
on a better
This is our
program.
silver lining of all these changes, and we'll kind of summarize that at the bottom here. But to their credit, to be fair, um, QuickBooks Desktop payroll services were a hodgepodge of options. It wasn't as simple as QBO payroll, where it's core, premium, elite, and that was it, right? And those the costs and fees were pretty standard and universal. But yeah, there's basic payroll. Nobody even knows that basic payroll exists. There was this grandfathered option of standard payroll. Then there was enhanced payroll, and then there was assisted payroll, and all of them had different options when it came to the per employee charge. Was there an employee per employee charge? Was there a direct deposit cost? Was there a per paycheck cost? So in their defense, simplifying the per employee payroll cost or is actually a good thing, because it makes it a lot easier to figure out. But there's still some unanswered questions that are, if you're using the enhanced payroll for accountants, which was announced that they're no longer selling, that avoids any kind of payroll fee except the direct deposit costs. What does that look like? So that's not listed in there, but they had this limited 1 to 3, and then unlimited, which was 4+ employees, and they had different breakdowns for per employee cost. So now everything
$5 per
$5.
employee. So
$5 per employee.
So if you, Robin wanted me to repeat that. So if you scroll up to the new pricing, just so I can point it out to her. So right
one?
there, stop right
Okay.
there. All right. So yeah, why is it not focused? All right, there we are.
Was that you? You're not focused.
I'm there. No, I think it was you. All right. So $7.99 for one user Premier Plus. What was your? That is the, so get out your calculators. That's the annual price. So however many employees you have, one employee would be 5 times 12, which would be $60. So 5 employees is 25 times 12 is, Dan, help me out.
$300.
So how much?
25 times 12 is $300.
Okay, so then that is $10.99. So we need more than 5. You just have to run the numbers. How many users are they going to have, and how many employees? Because one user of gold is $13.92.
Before you get to yeah, there's a subscription cost in there. So not just the employee cost. It's you get the $500 a year for
just
having the luxury of this.
Go back up. 500. You have to add 500 to this number. So let's look at right here. $7.99 plus 500 is $12.99. Okay, and then you add in the 300 you just said for 5 users. You're now at $15.99. So you're using the smaller. You're trying to cram your feet into a smaller product, and you're paying for those fees. In Gold Enterprise, there's no fees. So whatever you're paying for that subscription for one user is $13.92. Your customer's going to save money and be in a better product.
Or a more robust, they'll have more features.
More features, and they can grow and grow. They can keep all their history in there. They don't have to shrink the file and then have corruption. And they have users, the users access in Premier is like 8, and in Enterprise is like 200 different customizable things. So now it's much more cost effective to purchase Gold than to do Pro, Premier, Plus, Enhanced Payroll. So all your Enhanced Payroll customers would save money getting off of this hodgepodge and moving to Gold.
Exactly. So let's move on to that. So this is a kind of breakdown here of the new subscription plan. So they do make it a little bit easier to understand. It's Enhanced Payroll, which incorporates the standard payroll. So they're consolidating standard payroll and enhanced payroll. The difference between standard and enhanced payroll was whether or not you could e-file your tax forms at the end of the year. You could still print them, but you wouldn't be able to the e-filing and e-pay of tax forms. So it really just kind of breaks it down that you've got enhanced either annual or monthly, and then basic payroll either annual or monthly. So it does make it a little simpler to understand, but there's still some questions when it comes to the payroll costs with other, legacy payroll subscriptions that especially accountants and bookkeepers might be using.
Which they don't. Robin's asking, do it when the subscription expires? I assume so. I mean, with Intuit, you don't know. They might raise it during the subscription, and just keep an eye on your customers that have it. With the accountant, one thing not mentioned in here, and we didn't go down that left-hand turn, is basically what they've done is they've removed the ability for ProAdvisors to run payroll in-house. You can still do it if you're in a legacy program, but as we can see, they're trying to dry up that income stream, and we have replaced it in our little world. But go ahead, Dan.
Oh no, we were. Jeff asked a question in the chat. Is there any news on the cost of the 50 EIN enhanced payroll for accountants? We don't know yet. So
there's not you can't purchase it anymore. It's grandfathered in.
Right. So any new subscriptions, they're not even selling them. It's not even on their website anymore, available for sale. But I don't know what the costs would be, if there is going to be an per employee cost, or what that means. Jeff is saying he is a grandfather. So
just
another
be
thing,
prepared for that rug to be pulled out from under you. So
I would assume it's going to stop at some point, but I don't know what that looks like. We will probably have another workshop talking about that email that
price increase and so forth. So be prepared. Adjust your sales accordingly.
Yeah. So I think the last part. No. Yeah. Got a few more parts to cover.
This was confusing too.
Yeah. So the Accountant Desktop Plus subscription. So last year it was announced that the single use license for accountant, which that was the last year. 2022 was the last year that was going to happen for accountant version. So now and they were announcing the Accountant Desktop Plus. So now it's official, in alignment with the other Pro Premier versions of desktop. Accountant is now in that Plus option, right? So you have to have a subscription with regards to Accountant Desktop. You don't have to be a ProAdvisor to do that. You can just purchase the Accountant Plus subscription if you wanted to do it that way. The only change now is you can do multi-user with that over your ProAdvisor membership. So if you have 5 people in your firm and you want a 5-user license of desktop accountant version, you basically have to get 5 ProAdvisor subscriptions in order to do that. All right. So if you want to have one person be the ProAdvisor and the other 4 be the Accountant Plus subscription, you can certainly do that now to kind of mix and match who the actual ProAdvisor in your firm is. But this is going to replace the legacy Accountant Desktop, which was the 3-year supported license. The other confusing part was about support terms, right? So if you are a ProAdvisor and you get the 2023 license and you cancel your ProAdvisor membership, I think what this is saying here is that if you don't have an active ProAdvisor membership and your license came with it, your 2023 license came with it, your support is going to expire on that if you don't have a ProAdvisor subscription, an active ProAdvisor subscription. That's what I took away from that. The fact that they threw in their end user license agreement just adds more legalities to the issue. So I don't know specifically what that would be. I would think in their frequently asked questions in the Firm of the Future blog, that would probably come to fruition as far as what that actually looks like. Any comments there, Carrie?
This section makes me dizzy. So we can scroll on.
All right, we'll just keep going scrolling.
Keep on scrolling. Oh, my happy world. I like this
But
one.
we just did want to point out there that at School of Bookkeeping, we don't care what version of QuickBooks you're using. Our Quick Answers option, we don't ask if you're using a supported version. You could even be using an old version of QuickBooks. We've got the chops to support them all. So, whatever you and your client are using, if you're an elite member or just want to use Quick Answers to get some answers and get back to business, use that. All right. So QuickBooks Desktop Enterprise, this was the shortest part because there's no changes.
Right.
But they did want to call out that in 2023 there are no issues or no price changes with Enterprise. Wow, we skirted one thing out of that.
Well, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Bob you're right. You're right, Bob. For now.
Yeah.
So
and this is where we kind of we take that example of a one user pro using Payroll, comparing that to Gold. I mean, it's $1392.20, going through a QuickBooks solution provider. A single user Pro Plus with enhanced payroll with 5 employees is $1349, right? So it's a less than $50 difference to have Gold that doesn't include any payroll charges. So if they have 10 employees or 50 employees, that value gets even more.
And the difference between Enterprise and the Pro, and that's Pro, that's not even Premier.
Yeah.
Pro and Premier are limited. This takes 10 times the file size. The word Enterprise makes people think that it's meant for something humongous. I mean, we use it. We're small business. It's just much the reporting's better. The users are better. It's all it's just a better land, and there's not any weird migration. You just unlock features and
just
speed. The speed of it's so much better. So it's actually it's good that they left that alone. So we got this little corner of something that you can navigate. Payroll. Don't bother to do 2 subscriptions and make it Frankenstein.
Yeah. And then they did mention something about Microsoft Windows updates as of January 10th of next year. That Microsoft won't be providing any security updates for Windows 8.1. So 2023 is not going to be supported in Windows 8.1. But I don't know how old Windows 8 is. I mean, because they stopped using years, to define their versions of Windows.
I bet Bob has something to add to this. But what I would say is computers these days are so cheap. Go ahead and get the latest technology so that you're in the latest Windows and you get the security patches. The hackers are out there hoping you have the old stuff so they can get in there.
Yeah.
2012. And I mean, and we do have customers that will hold on to old stuff, and you spend more money trying to upgrade those old computers that move like a snail than just getting a nice updated laptop.
Yeah, that's 10 years of technology for.
Can you imagine
that version?
The hackers are probably and buy a new printer. Printers, they're so cheap these days. Just do it. It's not like buying computers 10 years ago. The prices are so reasonable.
Yeah. So the last part of the email was asking for feedback. So they definitely would love you to have to have your feedback, and they've created a blog article on their own to be able to collect some of those frequently asked questions. But if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the discussion there, or in the discussion here on the workshop as well, so we can continue this conversation as this develops. So I'm going to stop sharing.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts there? We kind of we filled up a half
We
hour
have
just
a lot
talking.
of discussion over here. This is fun. So she wants to know what kind of laptop we're on. So we actually use Bob's Easy Cloud hosting, and we use MacBooks. We're both. I think I'm on a Pro.
Yeah.
You're on a Pro. MacBook
Yes.
Airs too. Landon is on a Microsoft product because he wanted to be able to help with conversions, and I don't know what I'm sure he's on the latest stuff. And Jeff is asking about, are all the supported years of QuickBooks working okay with Windows 11 now? Does Bob know? Bob would know. Bob.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that, because it's because Windows 11 and QuickBooks versions, they all come out at different times. So sometimes it's
a yes.
It's working, but Bob says yes. So look, I can
He
show
would know.
that.
He has to
Wow,
load that. He has to load that in for his customers.
Bob says yes.
Bob says yes.
Yeah. So I think we'll put a bow on this workshop, and we'll go back to our regularly scheduled payroll fundamentals and QuickBooks workflows next week. We appreciate you joining us on this workshop, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Have a great week. Thanks for